This video is on managing and running jobs using Google BigQuery. Jobs in BigQuery are essentially anything you ask BigQuery to do. This can include data loads, exporting data, querying, or copying data. Jobs sound like a crazy word to anyone outside of IT, but they are nothing more than tasks that you request to the application or software you are using. Jobs execute asynchronously with each other, or essentially not at the same time. This is due to the potentially high level of compute or processing power needed depending on the job. For instance, a load communicating with an external API could take a potentially long time to execute. Thus, we want compute to be dedicated to that task until completion. You may pull jobs for their status at any time. It is important to note that listing resources or getting metadata are not managed by a job resource. This is essentially because these are short actions that don't require much from BigQuery. In order to run jobs, you must have create permissions. We'll cover permissions more in depth later in the course. There are also quota policies on jobs, which we'll cover in a more advanced video. Unless you're a power user, you are very unlikely to run into limits in the number of jobs you may execute. Jobs are also how Google allocates pricing. A billing account is associated with each project, and that project is then billed for any usage the job entails. You may run jobs programmatically by using Python, and we'll cover that later in the course as well. This is not entirely necessary unless you're familiar with Python and would like to run jobs with that tool. We'll also be covering the use of BigQuery in R, a statistical programming language that is my personal favorite. Information about jobs can be seen via the user interface, via the command line interface, the API, the programming language Go, Node.js, or Python. We'll cover the API, the CLI, and Python later in the course. You may list, cancel, or rerun a job via most of these tools as well. To list jobs in the UI, you click Job History within the navigation pane shown here, and you may view your personal jobs or everyone in the project's jobs. We'll be creating more jobs later on. You may run or rerun jobs here or cancel them. Some jobs are unable to be canceled, especially if they've already been executed. In order to cancel a job, you must have the proper permissions, which your administrator will set, or you, of course, if you are the administrator.